Bloodstained Ritual of the Night is a 2019 game developed by Artplay and published by 505 Games. It was originally a Kickstarter project created by Koji Igarashi, the producer of many Castlevania games back in Konami. I remember watching the release date trailer for Bloodstained. If you haven't seen it, you totally should, because it's one big flex from Artplay. They showed a bunch of comments talking about how bad the early graphics looked, so they revamped the textures to prove them wrong. I don't think the old graphics looked like poop, but the final product is definitely more striking, and I do think that it gave a more distinct vibe to the game. Since Bloodstained is a spiritual successor to Castlevania, I held back on getting the game when it first released. I didn't have any special reason though, I just really sucked at Symphony of the Night, and I've seen people online say that Bloodstained is really similar to that Castlevania game. Fast forward to the present and I decided to play it anyway. I ended up enjoying the game, but I still sucked. The game takes place in 18th century England during the Industrial Revolution. Since the spiritual beliefs of people were changing, the Alchemy Guild wasn't getting as much money anymore, so they decided to create shardbinders, humans fused with magical crystals that gave them demonic powers. Shardbinders were then sacrificed by the alchemists in order to summon demons from hell. The alchemists thought that they could scare people with the demons and make them go back to the old ways, but unsurprisingly, the demons ended up killing a lot of people instead. The only shardbinders who survived the rite were two friends, Jeeble and Miriam. But Miriam's a special case because she literally slept through the whole sacrifice stuff. She slept through it for 10 years actually, and that's where the game begins. Miriam wakes up from her deep slumber and finds out that her old friend Jeeble summoned demons to seek revenge on the Alchemists Guild because of what they did to him. So Miriam journeys into the castle to stop Jeeble, with the assistance of Johannes, an alchemist, and an exorcist named Dominique. While I have played a few Metroidvania games in the past, I've never completely played through a Castlevania game, so I didn't know what to expect as I explored the castle. The game's a side-scrolling action RPG where you'll be going through a series of rooms, each connected by doors and other entryways. You'll be fighting through demons while figuring out how to unlock different parts of the castle as you progress. Characters will sometimes give you hints on where to go next, but most things are left to be discovered. I had so much fun exploring the many environments of the castle, opening chests and finding hidden rooms, but there were a few sections in the game where I just didn't know how to continue on. I ended up looking at guides and I don't want to mention spoilers, but some of them felt cryptic. I don't know if it's because this is the first Castlevania game that I've fully played through, but I have mad respect for everyone who figures it all out by themselves. It would probably take me ages. But anyway, what made running through each room even more fun was fighting the demons. I loved the feeling of getting stronger as I kept playing. Leveling up really made a big difference, especially when I went back to areas that previously gave me trouble. It was nice seeing some enemy variety. It prevented things from feeling stale throughout the game. Some of them were reskins, but there's enough twists to help keep things fresh. Some of the designs I liked were the giant demon kitty and the flying pig. Who knew demonic creatures could look this cute? Bosses had cool designs, but I especially liked the ones that made interesting use of the stage, even if they were a little annoying to fight. There's a lot of weapon variety in the game. It ranges from swords, whips, guns, kung fu shoes, and more. It's great because you can experiment on different playstyles. Weapon techniques are placed around the castle too, so finding a book that contains them will let you do special moves with each weapon. I ended up using one-handed swords a lot, mostly because I found them very comfortable and balanced. Slower weapons like two-handed swords did a lot of damage, but I think I've lost way more HP every time I tried to swing one. Miriam can gain special abilities by absorbing shards that drop from demons she killed. Not only are there 5 types of shards, but there are a lot of them. I don't think I've even used every single shard I've gotten. Some shards give you abilities that can be used offensively, like throwing projectiles at enemies, or defensively, like forming a barrier around Miriam. Others give passive abilities to stats or weapons. There are also shards that can be casted in different directions, allowing you to hit or reach specific places. Other shards will even summon familiars that'll help you in battle. Magic drains every time you use most shard skills, but you can always replenish them by consuming items or sitting in a save room. Duplicate shards can either be sold or used for upgrades, so the skill will be even more effective. Now, apart from dropping shards, demons also drop materials and ingredients. There's a lot to craft, from weapons, armor, accessories, and even food. Food serves as another way to recover HP and MP, but what's cool is how you can get a permanent stat boost when you eat a certain dish for the first time. I love that some of the equipment for Miriam is actually visible on her, like it's not just an invisible armor piece that changes her stats. If you want to go further, Miriam's appearance can be customized. You can change her hairstyle as well as the color of her hair, skin, eyes, and clothes. There are also a handful of side quests, but they didn't stand out as much as other aspects of the game. Certain tasks would require Miriam to find items, kill specific demons, and make food. Yeah, there's this really hungry old lady that keeps asking Miriam to bring her all kinds of food. I can sort of sympathize with her cravings. I mean, pizza isn't going to save the demon problem in their world, but it sure tastes good.
Oh, it's delicious. Save some for me?
A ton of content is already included in the game. Extras like boss rush mode and speedrun mode. And you can even play as another character, Zangetsu. Another one is called randomizer mode. You can customize all sorts of parameters for your playthrough. There's also boss revenge mode, where you get to play as bosses from the game and you'll have to fight characters like Miriam and Dominique. Free updates are still going on, at least at the time of this video's release. There's a 2020 roadmap containing planned content for the game, and there's going to be a few more modes released along with local and online multiplayer. Overall, I really enjoyed Bloodstained, and I highly recommend it if you like Metroidvanias. It took me almost 20 hours to go through the game's main story and explore around, but I still have a few things left to do. I'll be going back to the game from time to time just to go through some of those optional content. I can't wait to see what's going to come next. Thanks for watching, and let me know what you thought about the video. So while I haven't played through like all of the Castlevania games, I really like the Netflix show. Have you guys watched it? I think it's really good. I love the characters and the dialogue, especially when Trevor, Alucard, and Sypha are talking to each other. It makes for some really funny scenes. And the fights, oh my god, so much detail in the choreography. I can't wait for season 4. Anyway, I'm gonna stop now before I end up talking about the entire show here. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video.